Hey, what's going on? Tony from howtobuyandSellYourCars.com making another question video to some subscribers that sent in an email. I have a bunch of pages that I want to cover, and this is a really good question here. And this is a question that actually, not a question, but something that I was stuck with when I first started buying and selling cars for profit, So his main question is, and I'm going to read it to you in a bit. His main question is, how much do you invest into a car to get it ready to sell, right? Because sometimes people are a perfectionist. Like I used to be a perfectionist, with buying and selling cars. I wanted to make sure everything was button tight on the car. It had no problems. It was, all good. But to do that, you have to invest money, right, into fixing a shock up or putting brakes on it or doing an oil change and all that. And by the time you do all of those repairs, you're only looking at a few $100 profit maybe, or even 1,000. It just takes more of your profit away the more you put into a vehicle. So the main question is, I'm going to go ahead and read it out to you. Hi, Tony. Thanks for the email. The burning question I have is how to quickly flip a car with integrity. Okay, meaning selling it knowing that it's in good drivable condition and creating a win-win situation to the both buyer and seller, right? For example, I bought a 2002 Ford Explorer for $1,300 with a new battery, and it needed new catalytic converters. After putting $400 in and sprucing the car up, it drove fine, and I wanted to turn it around in the mid $2,000 range, around $2,500 or so. But when I went to get the oil changed, I paid $50 for a general inspection, and the inspector came up with about $1,500 in repairs like coils, wiring, small exhaust leak, small oil leak. They don't affect drivability, but they were there. As I'm sure this is the case with a lot of 10-year-old plus cars. How do you address both buying and selling cars at this level of repair if you aren't just passing the buck? That's been the main concern stopping me. Thanks, Justin Gibbs. All right, so you have to think about your inspection guy, all right? The inspection shop that you go to, they want to make money, all right? So, of course, they want to say, oh, the car needs this, it needs this and this. But in reality, it really doesn't need it, okay? So I'm going to go over some of the general things. Coils. You don't need to replace coils if the car is running fine, all right? So that's out. Wiring, all right? What wiring? Okay, don't worry about it. The car is running, everything works, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Small exhaust leak, that's not a big deal, okay? You don't have to have that fixed. You could just say when you're selling the car, yeah, if it's bad enough to where you can hear the exhaust leak and it's kind of annoying, you can say, hey, I know the car needs a little exhaust repair, but that's why I'm going to take off an extra $150 off the sale, or that's why it's priced at this price, because I know that you're going to have to go get that fixed if you want it to sound a little bit better, right? So don't worry about the exhaust leak. Oil leak, small oil leak, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of cars have small oil leaks, all right? It's just a normal wear and tear. Unless it's leaking like a half a quart of oil a day, I wouldn't worry about it, all right? A couple of drips under a car, it's what happens. The best thing I recommend you do is try to find the source, see if you could tighten up a line, if it's a transmission oil leak line, or try to see what it is and do a little tightening, all right? That might do it. It also may be the gasket around your drain plug. It may be simple as tightening up your 10mm bolts around the oil pan, or 7/16 bolts, whatever they are, if you have an American or Japanese car or Asian car. And the other thing that could help take care of that is just pressure washing your vehicle engine down before you sell it. So in the F1 course, I go over step by step exactly how to detail, spruce up cars so you can sell them for great profits. I show you all of these things on video, step by step, what to do to the inside of the car, to the outside of the car, to your ads, to sell your cars a lot quicker. So sometimes, all you got to do is those little things to get them going, and you could sell them really quickly with a great profit. So the main the main point is you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to fix every little thing on a car. Sometimes, here's a great example of I think it was like maybe 10 years ago when I learned my lesson. It was I think it was like a 1996 or 7 Geo that I was selling, right? Geo Prism, or one of those Chevy cars, right? I bought it from the auction for a few $100, and I sold it to my neighbor. Okay, this is something you really don't want to do, because when you sell things to friends, families, and neighbors and all that, they think that it has a lifetime warranty because you sold it to them. All right, which is totally not true. You're not responsible to everything that happens to the car after you sell it. So anyway, when I bought the car, I'm going to go quickly here. I don't want to make this a super long video. When I bought the car, it needed a strut, it needed an axle, it needed a tune-up. Okay, so I did those things, right? And I sold the car for like $1,500. I made $1,000 profit on it, roughly, right? I bought it for $200. I put another $200-300 in it, got it all fixed up, and sold it for 15 or maybe more, maybe $1,800 or $2,000, something like that. Okay, and he was my neighbor, and I was living with my mom at that time, and she had a 3-story house, and he was living on the bottom floor. He was really, renting from us, like renting. He was a rental. So 6 months go by, the car breaks down, it needed a coil or something, and at that time I was in automotive school. I was in my 20s, getting my ASE for automotive ASE for mechanical, and he calls me up one day. Yeah, my car broke down, so I'm like, tow it over to the school. So he towed it over to the school, and me and a bunch of my buddies, we jumped on it and we got it fixed right away. That was pretty cool. But another 6 months down the road, it needed something else, and he kept coming back to me over and over. Of course, I charged him, but he came off like it was it was my responsibility to do it. So that's another thing. Don't sell cars to close family or friends, because you don't want to have nothing to do with it after you sell it. Okay, so that's another tip. You don't have to be a perfectionist. When you sell it, make sure it's a win-win situation, and the car doesn't have to be completely done. Invest all your money, get it to where it's running good, and if it has a couple of things that needs to be done, tell the buyer, hey, yeah, looks like it needs tires. I didn't want to put the money into it, and have them worry about it. You always want to clear at least $1,000 profit for yourself on cheap beaters. $2,000-3,000 beaters. But if you're selling cars in the $5,000-6,000 range, you're going to have less problems. And you're going to have more profit range, because you're selling at a higher range, right? You're selling at 5,000-6,000. Maybe you bought it for 4,000. You're asking 65 for it. Of course, cars with less problems, you got less things to do with them. So that's why I recommend, if you have to start off in the low range, $500-600 cars, and sell between the $2,500-2,000 selling range, then you're going to have to do those little things. But once you get out of that step and you start dealing with the $5,000-6,000 car range, 7,000, max 10,000, was okay a couple of years ago, but now things are getting tight again in the U.S. Jobs and money, and a lot of people want to just have a dependable little beater, right? So that's the range I stay in. Anyway, before this video gets crazy, it's Tony from howtobuyandsellyyourcars.com. If you want to learn more about buying and selling used cars for sale in the private party market, or if you want to step up your game and go to the auctions, I show you so much more about this and how you could make thousands of dollars of extra money every single month, even if you're a complete total newbie, college kid, senior citizen looking to make some extra funds. Go to howtobuyandsellyyourcars.com right now. If you're on YouTube watching my video, click the link below. It'll take you over to the website, and there's going to be an area on the homepage where you can put your email in and get my free report that'll tell you more about this, how you can copy my strategies, and how you can get started today flipping cars for cash profits. All right, it's Tony. I hope you liked the video. Please like it, share it, comment, visit my blog, and reach out to me. I'm always here answering questions, and I'm here to help you succeed. It's Tony. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.